Are you ready to do it, big man?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode
of The Real
with my co-host Colt 45, live from the Colt 45 studios, which happen to be right here in his bedroom. Well, welcome.
Know it.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while, and we're gonna be honest with y'all. The reason we haven't did an episode of The Reels, we've been fishing every chance we get. So
Yes, sir.
a lot going on this time of year. It's good to be back tonight, and the main topic of today's show, we're gonna be talking
Red breast fishing.
red breast fishing, and specifically the swamp spider.
Yeah.
So, I get a lot of questions. If you're new to the channel here, it's Georgia Boy Outdoors, but the business we run is Georgia Boy Lures. So we make the swamp spider. That's, the primary product we offer. We offer a whole line of lures, but anyway, the questions I get daily are, what is it, how to fish it, all that good stuff. So we'll talk some local reports. Y'all know Miley's going to have the weather. We'll jump right on into this thing right now with the Tiger Creek Bait and Tackle Fish of the Week. My man, Chance, y'all check this thing out.
Wow, that was a nice red breast.
Nice fish, Chance. Chance Forsyth with the fish of the week. And hey, it's time to dive on off in this thing. Let's talk some local reports real quick. Stephen Lewis on the Canoochee River. You remember fishing with Stephen? He has been tearing up the red breast in Fort Stewart. Today he sent me some pictures from in there. I think he had, don't quote me, but was it 6 or 7 fish bumping right at a pound? Said it was one of the best days he's had, catching them on spinner baits and on swamp spiders. So really cool. The Canoochee's definitely a place to check out. But the Ohoopee, I made that trip over there. It's been a lot of fishing since we've been here last. Don't forget the Everglades. We'll get on that in a minute. But the Ohoopee River. So went with Chris from Tiger Creek Bait and Tackle. Y'all be sure to check him out. Awesome deals on products over there. But anyway, made a trip with him, and the river was way out of the banks. I'll be honest, when I got there, I'm thinking, there ain't no way we're going to catch fish. But Chris seemed confident, and man, it worked out. We caught some nice red breasts. You seen pictures. And then the Everglades. What do you think about that? So
I'm still happy.
Me and Colt, we make our first trip down to the Everglades. We go to you can check those. We got 2 videos up, and I don't mind telling you where we were because I want you to go down there. I want you to take your kids, your family, your friends. I want you to go enjoy this. The Broward County rest area. So you could you're not technically supposed to stay at the rest area more than 3 or 4 hours. They don't want people living there, obviously, but I don't feel like security minds if you're spending the night out there.
But it's a really safe place. It's got a police.
Yeah, it's like a police
fire,
station. Like a police fire station.
Yeah.
Really well lit up. When me and Colt fell asleep, I forgot initially to even lock the door. So felt really safe out there. But as far as that trip goes, we got down there, we were prepared to fish a bunch of different ways, bass, peacocks, whatever. Well, we started pitching the swamp spider, and then things changed. So now, did you like the Oscars better or the Mayan cichlids?
It's a mix because they were both so strong and so fast.
I'm gonna say it's tough because to me the Oscar was the stronger, harder puller that could really bear. But that Mayan cichlid was fast, man. They could swim fast. So
I'd have to go with the Mayan cichlid. Probably.
Yeah, and they remind me of a red breast too. So that helps. I think that may be some of it. But you can make a trip down there, and the thing is, there's 3 boat. I think I said in the video too, but there's 3 or 4 boat ramps all in this rest area parking lots, canals everywhere, and it seemed like no matter where you put in, you're dealing with the same thing. You got a long straight canal. If you've been to Folkestone before, it's kind of like the Swanee Canal, maybe a touch wider, but on both sides you got lily pads. How far out would you say they come from the bank? Maybe more than a foot, maybe 5, 6 feet, some places 10 feet. You could throw that swamp spider up in there, work it out, and bam, the jokers would just kill it. So that was a lot of fun. Plan on doing that again soon. The Satilla, man, I don't know how we ain't talking about the Satilla. The Satilla is finally setting up right. I've actually got a couple guide trips coming up this week. I'm excited to get some people out on the river. If you checked out some of our videos and you're interested in a trip, hey, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Love to show people what I know. I believe this is the best red breast fishery in the country. Now, we don't have the numbers anymore, but we've definitely got the fish with the size to it. So The Altamaha's setting up good. I just, the Ogeechee's getting right. I don't think you can go wrong this week by fishing a river. And speaking of that, the Satilla tournament.
Oh, yeah, it's going up.
It kicks off tomorrow.
Oh,
so, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so I'm loaded up, ready to go. Colt, he's got the whole school thing going. So,
or maybe I may not.
Yeah, you never know. We might save that day for another. But it's a cool 10-day tournament the Satilla Riverkeeper puts on through an app. You measure fish. I'm not going to bore y'all too much with that, but hopefully we're going to have some really cool catches. Yeah. So we'll be trying to make some videos during it. Not really sure how that's going to work out or how we're going to set it up yet, but I think we've been in the money, 4 or 5 years in a row, and there's some really good fishermen in this tournament. Hopefully we can keep that rolling. But hey, it's time to fish, so weather's been good. And on that note, let's go to your favorite weather girl. Molly James, bring us the weather.
Hello everybody. As you can see, the weather's been pretty crappy, but not no more. Good TV.
Okay, never a dull moment with Molly the weather girl. So we're down to business now. We're talking the swamp spider. What is it? How do you fish it? Let's just break the whole thing down, Colt probably doesn't remember. He was younger then, but back in 2017, I set out, I was gonna make popping bugs. That was my goal. Got a fly vise, bought some materials, said, hey, I'm gonna make popping bugs. Well, it didn't take long for me to realize that you cannot efficiently make a popping bug in America, and I guess that's why everybody's sold out to China now. It's just they're too expensive and time consuming to make, and also no matter how good you make them, they don't last that long. So the legs come out, that's the number one thing on a popping bug. Those of y'all that fish, when I fish Sneaky Pete's and Wildcats, I fished every kind, bunch of good bugs out there. But the legs come out, and then super glue just won't adhere to it. So anyway, started, I said, hey, let me come up with something different. And I thought you remember the old little bet spiders, you've seen them before. I said, man, this thing would be good, but it's just not big enough. It catches a lot of small fish. It's got too small of a hook. And so that's kind of what led to this, the Georgia Boy Lure Swamp Spider. And I'm going to kind of go through some of this quick. It's built on a number 4 hook, the regular size is. And there's a junior size. It's built
you're going for like bluegill, maybe some of the smaller fish.
I'll add to that too. It's built on a number 6 hook, and the leg span's still the same, just the body's a little smaller, and we've done good with it too. But it's tied, it's wrapped, it's glued. When
we caught like 200 fish on them.
Down in the Everglades.
Yeah.
Once we put that super glue, we let it dry for 8 hours. That thread's locked down. That bug, the legs are going to be there, and that's another thing too. These really long legs, you get a lot of movement out of them. And with them being longer, the rubber has more flex. So if a redbreast comes up, grabs the leg and pulls, and you set the hook, it's like a rubber band.
Yeah.
Think about it. A longer rubber band, it's not going to break as easy as a short piece. You got to pull that short piece and it breaks. So it worked out really good. We've averaged about 10,000 or so a year. It's been a really good product. It's my favorite thing we make. So
me as well, probably.
And it's killer on redbreast. Even when it's sitting still, those legs, those rubber legs, and that's true rubber. There's no silicone or no additives. Man, it quivers, and they just cannot take it. So that's kind of the swamp spider, sort of the history of it. Not really a lot to say, just a durable foam bug that works really well. But I think the big question is, how do you fish it? So, tell a couple ways. Tell how we used to fish it.
Okay, we used to fish it, he mainly.
Yeah.
With the brim buster.
Right.
But we had we had somebody tell us this.
That's right.
You put wacky worm.
Yeah. Stephen and Alan from the Ogeechee River, they said, what are y'all fishing that thing on a brim buster for? That's too much. And like Colt said, I used to fish it. He couldn't fish it. Him being younger and arms shorter. I mean, you're fishing a 10 or 12 foot pole, and there's trees and limbs in the river, and we call that bugging. That's what we call it down here, and I even grew up doing it some. But it's tough. It's not for everybody. It's exhausting. It's tiring. But anyway, Stephen and Alan said, what are you doing that for? And that's when I'll just showed me, let me push the button here on this thing. They showed me this. Maybe y'all can see that. But they said, hey, you bite off a little piece of plastic worm, and me and Colt's got where we like our Georgia stick worm just because it's one that we make, and we got them, a million of them laying here. But you put it on the hook, and you make sure to put it past the barb. But what happens now, you can take, we've been using these D2 combos. I'll tell you all about line and all in a minute. But we've been using them from Tiger Creek Bait and Tackle. The Delta 2, these are only $40 right now, the combo. Anywhere else, these things are going to cost you $90, $80, $90, $100, depending on where you are. But anyway, you can cast this thing 25, 30 feet. It's insane.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, you had a lure that was previously tough to fish. You had to really be skilled with that brim buster. To now, hey, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
So, and Chance, matter of fact, the other day, the fish of the week, that was his first red breast, and it was on a swamp spider. So, I mean, he went out there, hey, he's throwing it, and boom. Normally, and you can also fish these on spinning combos. Some people like it on the ultralight spinning. If you do that, I'm going to go and get in the line. If you're fishing on spinning gear, go with, I was talking to somebody about that today from Florida, go with braid. Go with 10 pound, 2 pound diameter. I like Power Pro just because it doesn't tangle as much if you're fishing on a spinning combo. Now, like if you're using this Delta combo you want to grab that line? Check this out. Okay, so the other day I'm at Tiger Creek and I tell Chris I need some line. This ain't a sales pitch. This is a deal though. So this is silver thread copolymer line, and it's 8-pound test. 3,000 yards. I mean, I'm fishing with it. Colt's gonna be fishing with it. His kids are gonna be fishing with it. And Chris is only selling this stuff for $15. So reach out to Tiger Creek Bait and Tackle. But that copolymer seems to work really good. And you could go with 6 pound, depending on the river or pond. If you're fishing a pond, you ain't got a lot of rounds, go with 6 pound. Go lighter. You could throw it further, like for bluegill. But, you know, sometimes in the Satilla, we're fishing some tight bluff walls and whatnot, and you need to really be able to put some pressure on a rooster to get him from around a root. So the 8 pound works really good. But that's the main trick.
I bet Dad's an expert on that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But, you know, the main trick to this is that little piece of plastic worm. You throw it out there, and we'll talk about working in a second. But you make the cast, and it makes it super easy. The Delta combo works really good. But let's talk about working it. How do you like to work it? Because there's not a wrong way.
Just this is me. Some people lay it in there. I think if I just throw it in a good pocket, wiggle, wiggle, stop, maybe another wiggle, wiggle, and if they don't bite it by then, go to the next spot. Wiggle, wiggle, stop, wiggle, wiggle.
That's right. That's right. The man's got it figured out, y'all. So show him some love in the comments. Tell him he's better than his old man. But seriously, if you in most rivers, and especially when they're still running fast as they're starting to drop during the spring, you got this sweet spot, and it's about this far from the bluff wall out from the bank. And that's where the current is at its list. So you pitch your spider in there, your spider hits the water, you know, up next to the bluff wall, wiggle, wiggle, stop. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add this. Yeah, I think this is what he's trying to say. Throw out the current spots, but where the current's moving, just them slack areas right beside.
Those tiny pockets. Those tiny pockets, them irregularities behind a tree, anything that looks different. Like I was saying here, you hit whatever you're hitting, you get up against the bank, wiggle, wiggle, and then a pause. Because see, even in my hand, look at this. I don't know if y'all can see it through the way the GoPro does the distance, but them legs are still wiggling. So on the water, if current's hitting the line, them things are wiggling even if you don't see it. So a lot of your strikes will occur
at the pause.
Yeah, on the pause. Sometimes when you're doing something else and you least expect it. That's what always happens to Colt, at least, but I'm not going to bust him out. But that's the main way you fish it. And you want, and color's another thing. I get asked about that a lot, man. And one of the big questions is, let me reel this up. What color is your go-to color? Colt, you want to show them?
It's got to be that sweet white.
Hands down, white is what I've caught more fish on. But I'm going to tell y'all, too, I've been ordering the same combo at Burger King for 20 years. I'm one of those people. If I find something that works, it's hard to get me to switch. I got a lot of buddies that fish these things. Man, they'll catch them on white today, red tomorrow, pink the next day. And they do well. And I think sometimes if you're willing to trade up, you'll do better. So
that 8-legged latte does good too.
That's a cool new color. I don't even have it in here with my. We got some new colors that just hit at GeorgiaBoyLures.com. I'll put a link down below. I'll also put a discount code. If you're listening to us, you deserve a discount code. I mean, you deserve even more than that. We appreciate you being here. But new color. Now I'm excited about this, and I can say it now because the tournament starts tomorrow. But and I've shipped a few of these out today, but they hadn't even hit stores yet. And I'm really excited about this Voodoo, this black with purple.
That's gonna be killer.
That's been a classic, always a plastic worm color. You got the Voodoo buzzbait that we make, and the wild thing. It's done great. I'm really excited.
We got a Voodoo Colt 45.
Got the Voodoo Colt 45 that I actually won the Satilla tournament on last year.
Oh yeah.
So that black and purple is a really special color. I don't know why, and I don't even really know if it matters why, but so I got high hopes for that.
Yeah.
I got high hopes for that. So, but white is a good place to start. And here's a trick too. Like Will Steve one time sent me a picture. He took a white one. Shout out, Will. But he colored it like a banana spider, like in the tree. I'll have to show you a picture of that. It's really cool. I would say I'd throw it in here, but I don't know if I can dig it out for sure or not. But he colored it yellow brown. I mean, it looked just like. So anyway, you could take the white spider. Let's say that it starts, you wore it down some, whatever. You want to change it. Man, you take a marker and color it.
Yeah.
Don't make no difference. The fish are looking at the profile, y'all. Well, I think when a fish sees a bug, you got to remember a fish, he's not killing for fun. When we kill, even when we go deer hunting, we say we're killing for food, but we got food in our pantry. Yeah. He ain't got no food in his pantry. When a redbreast sees a meal, he either gets it or he don't. So he sees that profile, that bug, bam, it's over with. And I think that's a redbreast, especially as they get older. And that's something I want to make sure everybody's clear on you. And I will argue you till we're blue in the face in the comments. And we sell spinnerbaits too. But I'm here to tell you, when it comes to big redbreasts, day in and day out, you will catch more big redbreasts on a bug. No, I don't care if you fish the Edisto in South Carolina. I don't care if you fish the Suwannee River, the Satilla River. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
What's your
one
thoughts?
thing. Oh, this ain't really, but I call it my big R. To make it catch fish, it's gotta look real.
Yep.
You can't just it's gotta have a shape to it and all.
Right, and I think we say swamp spider.
Yeah.
Me and Colt talk about this all the time as we're pondering things in the boat. I don't even think they really think it's a spider. What do you think it is? And I'll tell you what I think again. I know you've heard it 100 times. What do you think it is? What kind of bug?
A moth.
A moth, there you go. I think it's a dragonfly because you got, the bug bite always takes off. It's weird. About the time the dragonflies start flying. And that's each morning too. A lot of times in the morning it's not real hot. You look around, there ain't no dragonflies up at the crack of dawn. But as the day lingers on, 8, 9 in the morning, dragonflies start hitting. All of a sudden, you start hearing redbreast bust, and that's when it takes off.
I think it's the wiggle. It makes it look like the wings.
And who knows? They may not think it's any. They may not care what it is. They might be like me and Colt at the buffet. We're like, hey, grab the tongs. You grab it. You say, looks like I could chew on that. Throw it on your plate. So. But swamp spider, really good lure. And don't ever hesitate to reach out. All you have to do at GeorgiaBoyLures.com or on Facebook. Shoot me a message. Hey, I'll be glad to give you my number. We can talk about it, whatever. But, and I'm going to throw this in here too. Even if you don't fish a swamp spider, if you got a box full of bugs already, I'm going to wrap this up soon. It's getting close to Colt 45's bedtime. But if you got bugs, man, fish them. I promise you, you will catch more big redbreast and even bluegill, but especially redbreast on the bug. So, anyway, but we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up right there.
One more thing. Don't forget about those big bass. Didn't I miss a giant one time?
We've had some.
It was a giant.
Yeah, we've routinely caught bass in the rivers, 4 to 5 pounds. A lot of pond fish get pictures sent in to us too. So it's really anything kind of lure. And I will say that since you went there, regular versus junior, number 4 versus number 6. If you're fishing for redbreast more, I would go with the regular. if you're fishing more ponds,
Yeah.
I would say go with the junior because the bluegill's got a little bit smaller of a mouth. You'll hook up a little more, and it still casts. What's crazy, we noticed that at that creek the other day. The junior still casts about as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because the body doesn't catch the air as much or what, but it throws good. So, but
I would even go big if you're fishing a pond. If you're fishing for bass.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't you remember that one time I'd wake up during the summer? I'd catch like a 3-pounder every time with that swamp spider.
Yeah,
I got on a luxury.
Yeah, I remember that. I think that fish it was part of his daily routine to out in the pond out back to buy a Colt swamp spider. But anyway, it's Colt 45's bedtime. It's getting really close to mine. The Satilla tournament starts in the morning. Hopefully we got some footage from there. Really, if you're still here now, man, we appreciate you. Seriously, thank y'all so much for helping our channel to grow. If you hadn't already, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like this video. Click on that notifications icon.
And we'll see you next time out on the water or in the bedroom.